It's can't hear thing.
Trav, keep pulling.
Hello?
Yeah, it's working. We're back, guys.
And all it took was strapping Travis to this makeshift bicycle-powered generator and having him pedal for hours on end for several weeks now.
I'm so tired.
Oh, look on the bright side. You've got calves like steel now.
So should we explain our technical difficulties to the listeners? Or...
No, they don't care about any of that shit or the fact that we're going back to weekly episode drops. Let's roll. Welcome to another episode of Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast, where each week we pick a movie and talk about it in a mostly unfiltered fireside ramble. I'm Dan.
Courtney, Travis.
I'm Sam.
I'm going to do that again.
I don't
Travis.
know why you think you always have to be funny with your name.
I don't know.
I'm Dan.
That's not funny.
I know.
Travis.
I'm Sam.
I don't get that reference, also known as Frank.
So, the movie that we all watched together in our cabin
For a whole month.
for an entire month.
Over and on loop. What happened
loop.
was the VCR broke.
Long
I kept looping
movie.
it, so it never quite hit the credits.
I hate to ask this question, Travis, but do you have the VHS tape?
Of course I don't.
Can you read the back of the VHS tape?
As is
I-
tradition.
I forgot.
You thought we'd learn by now, all
Hang
of us.
on, let me find it.
Hey, that actually sounds like a VHS tape.
Finally.
It is.
Yeah,
What are
is
you
this
talking
thing?
about?
What am I hitting here? Oh,
A VHS tape, clearly.
come in. Oh, wait, the pizza's here.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. The back of the VHS says, Interwoven stories demonstrate that some traditions are best not forgotten as the residents of a small town faced real ghosts and goblins on Halloween. Tales of terror reveal the consequences of extinguishing a jack-o'-lantern before midnight and a grumpy hermit's encounter with a sinister trick-or-treater.
And the name of the movie is...
Hocus Pocus.
Terminator.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Part 2.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. Who wrote and directed
Debbie
Trick or
Does
Treat?
Dallas 3.
Who wrote and directed Trick or Treat?
No, go ahead. No, Travis, you go. You say it.
Say it, say it, say it.
The writer and director
He
also
has
know,
Siri says
he
it.
also wrote and directed Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Okay, but what's his name?
Yeah,
Wait, which one?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
No, but which...
The second one.
Not the one with Matthew Broderick.
No.
No.
He directed the second one in the
Who's
MonsterVerse.
he?
Daughtery?
That's what we always call him.
Is it Daughtery?
No, Michael
Dougherty.
Dougherty.
Oh, Doherty.
Michael
Dougherty.
Dougherty.
We've already had a run-in with Michael Dougherty. Last season.
And how did that go?
Which was?
Krampus.
Oh, he directed
Yes, he did.
Krampus? Nice.
Corrected. He directed and wrote, right?
He corrected
Nice.
and directed.
I can see a total similarity in these two movies.
Yeah.
In terms of
Absolutely.
tone and style, absolutely.
the holiday horror.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
So-
cool. I did not know that.
Dan, what was your
Oh, yeah.
what was your first impressions of this movie, or what were your thoughts?
My
what did you think?
pre-thoughts
Their
Yes.
initial thoughts, guys?
before
Come
initial-
on.
initial thoughts.
It's been a month.
It's been a while.
Actually, my initial thoughts, my pre-thoughts rather, were okay. Trick or treat. I saw the poster. All right, it's gonna be probably some crazy loon going around some small town and killing trick-or-treaters and raising havoc for 90 minutes, or in this case, 87 minutes. So that was my pre, and I thought, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Well, Dan, you're from the videos you sent. Your neighborhood is very festive during Halloween.
Oh my gosh!
No, had you seen because I know walking in almost like any Halloween store now, you always see the little lollipops. Have you seen the figurine at all? Like Sam, the little guy. or anything? Did any of these
You talking
characters?
about the little pumpkin head
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
I don't think I had. Or if I did, I didn't
You
connect
probably
to
just
it.
didn't register
Yeah,
it.
it didn't mean anything to me. But yeah,
Wow,
trick or
that's
treat
rude.
in my neighborhood. Our neighborhood is insane. We started handing out candy at about 6:15. We had 18 bags of candy. That's 1 pound per bag. We were completely out of candy by 7:50.
That's
Wow.
insane.
We
so
had
it never
to- Great.
stopped.
We had to. I know, right?
How
You hopped in the
how
car.
much money did you spend on all that candy?
Wait,
Probably at least.
200.
No.
Dan can write it
She-
off. It's okay.
Joni starts buying it in September on
Gotcha.
sale.
That's
so
smart.
she probably paid $2 to $3 a bag, so 36
that's
to
not
50
bad.
Yeah, that's not
bucks.
bad at all.
But I went to my neighbors next door. I said, "We're almost out of candy." He goes, "No kidding, man. I'm almost out of candy too." There were so many kids this year, way more. Maybe we just forgot through COVID. It's been a while. This was huge.
That's good.
That's great. I every year I try to push for giving out candy because I just like the idea of continuing the tradition. Even though we won't probably want to have kids, I just like that. I
Yeah,
like
I
I like
agree.
For
keeping
others,
that going.
yeah.
I
How
love
many
Halloween.
sacks did you give out of candy?
How long have you been waiting? You've been waiting to tell that for weeks.
He was ramping up that joke about 10 minutes ago.
He was like, he had it
No.
ready on your computer
No,
on your
it's
drive
the
over.
fact that you did the hand.
I
The
wish,
sack.
I wish our listeners could see the Italian hand. Hey, how many sacks
How
of
many sacks of
candy
candy?
did you give out? Oh, man. We just blew through so
when
much
you give
candy.
out candy, do you give out like
Handfuls?
good chunks, or do you give?
So we get like all the good stuff, the Snickers, the.
Do you
like
do
the
full
fun,
size?
We do fun size.
Okay.
So there's bite size, fun size, full size. We do the fun
What's bite
size.
size? Is that the
Those are the
economy? Is
little
that the economy
That's
version?
like the square size. So we give out the fun size, Snickers, Butterfinger, 100 grand.
That scared me.
That's scared. I'm.
Oh, the
Nestle's
pizza's
quick.
here.
Oh, this house is haunted.
Oh, okay.
Nestle's Crunch, all the good stuff.
Okay, but like you give out like a few
One
pieces,
piece.
or
No. I was giving out 2 at the beginning, but then we were just giving out one.
one piece of candy.
Just to
And
conserve.
there were just kids lining up on our driveway.
And
I mean, it was
that's-
crazy.
Okay, at our house we started at 7. We finished by 8:30,
Okay.
and then the crowd was dying by then anyway. We ended up keeping candy, but we were doing like 3 pieces per person, and I thought that was like a little, because when I give out candy, I get a nice sack, and I'm just like, here you go. Take it.
There
Right.
you go.
Sometimes I throw it at them from my door because I don't want them coming up. But
When you
Right.
use your paperboy skills.
I would love to do that, but we would have run out by 6:30.
exactly, yeah. That's why when my husband came in, he was like, no, we're doing this. And then we went from 3 to 2 pieces, and then towards the end we couldn't get rid of it, so we're like, okay, back to like 3. Let's do 4. Let's do 5.
Nice.
And then what we do is we for like a really good costume or a really small child that's kind of scared,
Yes.
we'll do like full size candy bar, like
That's cute.
like a big Kit Kat bar or something.
See, Joni saves the little bags of the chocolate M&Ms for the little kids.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
cute.
So they can have that. It's easier for them to eat and choke on.
Razor blades.
Will you
Speaking of
no comment. So yeah, so that was my pre-thought on trick or
That's the
treat.
longest
And your thoughts.
pre-thought.
And it was your pre-thoughts and your thoughts on
Yes,
trick or treating.
on Halloween. What were your pre-thoughts? When was the first time you saw this movie, Travis?
I saw this movie actually when it just came out.
Was it 2009?
2007, 2008. But I didn't see it in theaters. I don't. I think it got a really, really, really small release. I don't even think it actually was in like the big chains maybe. But here's the story. I think I got it from like disc on Netflix, and I put it in.
Oh no! Did you?
I'm watching the movie. It gets to the last segment, and
It crapped out.
yeah, disc is scratched. So it keeps skipping and going. So I was like, I have no idea what is going on.
At what point in the movie did that happen?
At the very last segment with the trick-or-treater.
Oh damn!
Yeah. So all like the reveals and everything, it would skip, so I missed them all.
That
And
sucks.
it was I was like, well, I kind of liked what I saw from the movie. So then I remember a few years later then when Frank and I started doing digital movies on Vudu, the very first one, I was like, Frank, can you find Trick or Treat? And you might have gotten the last digital code on Earth
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie. So then
I tracked that thing down to the ends of the earth.
I saw the ending finally.
So how many years did that take?
17.
I might have seen it like one other time, but it took a good while.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it. I mean, I liked it. I mean, this is a movie. No, I'll get to that. But
Yes.
no, those are and I mean, no, it's that's
What?
it. That's it. That's my pre-thoughts.
Well, it came out in 2007, right?
Yeah.
We didn't start doing Voodoo until like 2014.
So
it's a
7
good like
years.
7 years.
Yeah, but I think I had seen it though, like maybe one other time on something like. I think it eventually hit like digital somewhere.
Lies.
I think maybe I don't remember, but I just remember being like really annoyed because I feel like during that when everything gets tied together, I like missed it. So on the connection I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Sam? Pre-thoughts.
I had seen the cover everywhere, but I thought that it would be a really cheesy movie, so I never watched it until.
Because then I told you to watch it, so you're like,
Well,
yeah, that's
that too, but
definitely cheesy.
also-
No,
yeah.
so you're like,
I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch it at all. My coworker back in 2016 was like, I think you'd really like this movie, and it's like, and the character's named Sam, and I'm like, well, that's enough reason for me to watch it, and then I watched it. And then my thoughts on Trick or Treat.
Ba-dum-bum. Let's all laugh together.
Wow, just
Wow.
for the woman.
All right, Frank, go.
Thank you.
Standing ovation.
I remember seeing the character first before I saw the movie, and I think I didn't even see the movie until after Travis. It was out for a while, and I was just going through this phase where I was trying to watch a lot of movies that I'd missed out on. And the idea, there's not a lot of like Halloween themed like horror movies. There's like movies that take
You
place
watched
on
during
Halloween,
Based around Halloween, yeah.
but nothing that's like about the season itself. And I really appreciated that about this movie in terms of like what it's aiming for and the aesthetic. That's what drew me in, and that's why I was like excited to actually see it once I found out about it.
100%.
And that's
I
the thing.
agree.
I feel like Sam and Frank, as you had heard of it before, I feel like this was always just. Anytime when I talk to people, it's always like, yeah, this was a movie that had been on my list. I kept saying I was gonna watch. Eventually, I'll watch it. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, at the very beginning of the movie, when you find out where it takes place, and they always take place in Ohio, don't they?
Ohio.
What did Ohio do?
Yeah, what else does
It's
Ohio
just
have?
Midwest.
Why are we
Because
just-
we like, that's like definition Midwest.
Yeah. Warren, Ohio is an actual place. That's a real city,
Oh.
which I found interesting. I don't know that they shot it in
There
Warren,
was
Ohio.
a war I didn't know there was a war in Ohio.
There we go. A war.
How do you guys feel about this trope of when they start the movie, and this is only because we watched Thanksgiving yesterday, and then Eli Ross brought up the point of like slashers having that killer POV.
The POV, I love that.
Yeah.
I always like, and I feel like it really sets the mood well, and the movie taking place in Ohio, I don't know, like, and like I said, even going back to Halloween, I always love a good movie starting with a POV shot. I think it's more effective than sometimes from a movie, sometimes halfway going POV, because then sometimes it just kind of feels like a gimmick.
Yeah.
But
I could go 50-50, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think it worked in this one.
Yeah.
When did they start the POV? When she's taking the stuff down?
Yes.
Can't remember. I thought the opening was decent. It was a little by the numbers, but I mean, I liked the ghost, all the ghost sheets all around the front
yeah.
yard, so you knew she kept pulling them off, and each time you were kind of like taking a little jump, like, is this the one? Is this the one?
And I feel like the scene more itself, just, you said it's by the numbers of dialogue, it's just like setting the mood. Like you feel like, oh, you're in like Halloween, I'm here.
With the Halloween decorations, yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
for
it's
sure.
nice.
I
I had a month break from this.
Well, welcome back. We've had a month to gear up for it.
I know you have your list ready.
You think this is my list about the movie? This is how can I trash Travis for the next hour.
Last Wednesday he did this. The Tuesday before that he did. You're not gonna believe what the klutz did next. He comes home drunk one day and tries to fix the sink.
I thought the opening credits were cool. They were very Marvel-like. Am I right or wrong there with the comic book kind of thing?
Yeah.
It felt very much like a Marvel movie.
It started with it wasn't actually a comic first, and then
It was
got
like kind
turned
of like
into a
Creep
movie.
Show. It was like Creep Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like Creep Show. But I thought it was cool. I liked it. I thought that honestly, I thought the opening credits really told me, oh, this movie's going to be fun. Scary. Its intention is to be fun. Not just to be, how can I
It's not
gross
a
you out and
trick.
scare
It's
the
not-
crap out of you?
It's not
Yeah.
a trick. It's a treat.
Right. It's a trick with a big treat attached to it. So
Which
I,
I show-
and honestly, if I didn't realize he did Krampus, that would make sense.
Because it's got a similar tone, right?
Very much the same kind of tone.
I really want him to do like another holiday themed
Easter.
horror movie.
How about a whacked out bunny?
Yeah, you call it the hopping horror.
What?
What?
The hopping horror, not horror.
What?
Hey, we didn't even say that. You said
yeah.
that.
You thought of it.
I think that fun tone, though, is a little important because without it, a lot of the stories are really dark and depressing.
Oh.
So sad. The school bus one for sure.
But,
Well, actually-
but even that, I thought everything had a little twist. I mean, obviously, Principal Wilkins, that whole opening sequence, that was just over the top. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought he was great. And I
Yeah.
loved his son up in the window saying, "Daddy, why be quiet?" I mean, it was just the whole
That twist gets me every time.
What you
I always
think is
forget
the
it.
juxtaposition of what's
My
going
favorite
on
story.
when he sits down with the kid at the porch. Oh yeah, and don't eat candy or whatever. And he just starts barfing over
Retching.
the top.
It's such
but
a-
the whole thing with the little kid in the window, you don't understand. You think he's trying to get rid of the body.
I wanna carve the
while his
pumpkin.
son wants to go up and carve the
Yeah,
pumpkin.
it's such a good opening.
And
Should
he's
we-
so good. The actor.
Should-
is
Yeah, his
so
a
good.
big character. Yeah, his
Hold on. Should we at least give a line of what each story is? Because we're kind of just jumping into it.
Yeah, that's a good
So
idea.
what's this? This one is about. So it's a student, and he just like smashing pumpkins or something.
Right, and he's
Yes.
he's at the principal,
The principal's
the school
house.
principal's house at his front door,
And
and the principal
he-
catches him.
And he catches them, so they sit down. They kind of
Have
have
a conversation.
They have like a conversation. They're talking, and then the whole twist is
Well, he's talking about Halloween to the kid. These are the
Yeah.
things you shouldn't be doing on
Yes.
Halloween. He's
While the
listing
kid was like
everything.
munching on candy.
And a big old candy bar. And then right before the kid barfs himself to death, basically, or we think, Principal Wilkins reminds him that you also don't eat, what do you say, what kind of candy bars? Like, don't eat poison candy bars or something? Or
I don't know. I watched this a month ago. I don't
Right.
remember.
like with like razors. Yeah, and then
and
the whole
just barfs forever. And that was another moment
And that was
where
it.
he just continues throwing up so much. It's so over the top that you sit there and you, I mean, I almost laugh in that same Monty Python idea that we're just going way too far with this.
I could handle vomit, but at a certain point, I'm just like,
well, because it's nasty. It's like
Right.
it's like brown. It's like dark
Well, it was like
brown.
it was
Chocolate
like
milk.
bloody.
Yeah, it was like
whatever.
milk chocolate. I'm like,
It was really
ugh.
gross.
It's
Yeah.
not like your typical like chunks of like food in there. It's just, ugh.
So Principal Wilkins is setting up for his evening. That sequence ends with them carving the pumpkin, but it's that kid's head
Yeah.
that they're gonna carve.
but then also, plot twist, he's carving it with his son.
Yes,
So
with
cute.
his little 8-year-old son or whatever.
I thought that was really cool. I think it's really good at Jesus. That I think it's really good at establishing more so than the opening the tone that the other stories are gonna have, where you expect the twist, you just don't know where it's gonna show up.
And we also meet the neighbor. He comes out
Yeah.
with his dog and is complaining about all the noise and you know there's all these overlaying stories. Well,
Yeah.
not in some cases there are some, not always, but we introduce one thing as we later when
Yes.
we have the old man story we replay
Everything
this again
connects.
from a different
So-
point of view.
I have a question for you, Dan.
Yeah, yes.
Frank, me, and Travis, I'm sure we've seen it more than twice. For you, did you figure out something was going to happen with the old man, or did you think he was just a neighbor?
See, at that point in the story, I just thought he was a neighbor. Because I didn't read anything about the movie, so I didn't know that it was this sort of pulp fiction sort of way of storytelling. Similar, I should say.
You thought it was more linear.
Yeah, I just thought it was a linear story. He's just the cranky old man next door. I mean, I thought, for all I knew, Principal Wilkins was the
Killer.
going to be through the entire
Right.
movie.
And then at this point, we already
in a way, he is. But I mean,
were you already hooked, or were you just like, let me just?
oh, I was hooked. I was hooked again because I thought he was great. I thought his character was really funny in a really twisted way. I totally locked in on him. I was like, okay, if you're going to be the killer bad guy, this is going to be a lot of fun.
And it's the same tone like you were saying, like kind of like as Krampus, like that really dark
Yeah.
kind of humor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very similar. So, yeah, so our storylines, I guess, if we want to just, we have the principal's storyline, which we will get, it sort of comes in and out of the story. We have this story with the kids and the incident on the school bus.
Let's get into that one. So what
and
happens?
then I was just going to, do you want
Yes.
to go through all the different storylines?
You can run through all of them, and then we'll go.
without detailing them. Then we have, actually, I got a little out of order because the next one we really meet are the girls
Yeah.
who are there in the town to celebrate Halloween.
The Red Riding Hood.
And you have the sister, I guess she's the sister. She's the virgin character, and they're all kind of making fun of her, and she's very shy, and she's very uncomfortable with this sort of, they're all dressed sort of like, provocatively. That's a nice way of putting it.
Thank you.
And it sounds like they're just going to go out, party, and score. Like this is
Yeah.
going to be their night to, and they're already hitting on guys, so you sort of see this whole thing. Then you have the kids story with the school bus, which we'll get
like
into.
the campfire story.
Right, the campfire story, which I thought, and we'll get more into this when we really talk about it, had a very Stephen King feel to me.
Oh yeah.
That storyline to me was very, I mean, we could just say Stand By Me. That seems to be the watermark for all these movies, but it just felt like Stephen King.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then you have the old man story.
Yeah.
The next door neighbor old man, which I thought was really cool, but we'll get into that. So we kind of float from Principal Wilkins into these girls that are at the Halloween store, and there are 4 of them.
Yes.
And they're trying on different Halloween costumes, and they all look provocative. And then they're all trying to call their sister out, and she comes out like Little Red Riding Hood, which, without knowing kind of what was going to happen in the story, I really liked that she's the virgin character and she's Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, it's cliche, but it was just really
It works.
fun. I totally dug it. And then they go out in the town and start their evening. And that's happening, we have this sort of hooded, sort of wolf character, we don't know who it is, who is having his way with a young lady in an alley, and then he attacks her with his fangs and leaves her in the middle of the the carnival festival to bleed out. And here's something, I don't want to do all the talking, but then there was in that all that sort of carnival festival downtown Warren, Ohio, you suddenly bump into the couple from the very beginning of the movie. So they weren't just a wraparound, and I thought at that moment, they're going to figure into this story. And we never see them again until the end, when it just basically picks up where the beginning did. Which I thought was interesting.
Good too,
I kind of, maybe in reflection, kind of thought we could have maybe used them a little bit more.
That's the thing, is because I feel like with a lot of these anthology kind of films, it's clearly stated in the beginning. You know what the wraparound story is going to be. You can figure it out. But with this one, with the characters, how they're just popping up, like coming in and out, almost like, it's almost like a slideshow. They're just like, oh, here they come. Now they're going out. Almost like you're on like a ride or something. And now, but you don't know. Like, I will say up at like, with the first time I watched this movie, when you found out what the wraparound story was, I was like, I never in a million years would have guessed it.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like what it was. Like, you don't know. Like, there's no clear line. Because like you said, these characters are just popping in and out. And you're like, well, I don't know who I'm following.
It's almost like Sam is the one that's taking you through all of these.
Yeah, he's kind of like the
stories.
host. It's kind of because he comes in.
For sure.
He's almost kind of like the crypt keeper. Where it's like, okay, now here we are.
But I was very
Here we
confused
are.
about who he was and what he was.
Well, that's okay.
I didn't. I figured I'd find out.
Right, and you don't really
So I
need to
was
know much.
yeah.
But he's adorable, though.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind if you just hung out in my yard.
Same. Just don't
Yeah.
kill me.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to be killed.
Just don't take off your
No, just stay
your
outside.
potato sack.
I might leave food out for you.
Right. You want more lollipops? Here you go.
Want more lollipops? Here you go. Don't come inside. I will not put in a doggy door.
Yeah,
I will
won't-
not give
I'm
you
not
a
gonna
key.
take down the Halloween decorations at all.
I'll leave them up for you.
Yeah,
Just leave
I'll
me
buy you
alone.
pumpkins.
Yeah, I didn't. Let's assume, but Frank, you can probably enlighten me anyway. And maybe everybody else knows. Are any of these Halloween lores true, or did the writer just make
think
all that
they're
stuff
all-
up?
I
Because
think-
I'd never heard of any of these things. Like you can't blow out the
I
candles,
think it
you
was
can't
just
do.
for fun.
I've never heard of them.
I've never done a deep dive into Halloween
So
lore
it's possible
before. So
they
it's,
could be in there somewhere.
yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like the aim for the movie was to create something of a more popular.
It's a legend.
It was like a vehicle for a mainstream adoption of like some Halloween lore. So I feel like there's probably some truth to some of those like legends and superstitions that are in the movie.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Don't you know that? Everyone knows that.
And we roll into the kid story.
It's the most depressing one.
Well,
Yeah.
what happens at the end of what's the twist in the vampire? I mean, not in the vampire.
Do you want to tell the whole story?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Because they're all kind of mixed up. We can tell each story from beginning to end. I mean, it might be easier to do it that
Yeah, I
way.
think
Because
so,
the
too.
That's what I'm
movie,
saying, yeah,
the
that would be
movie itself
easiest.
is
'Cause
done
we kinda
very
already-
Pulp Fiction.
we
All the stories
kinda
intertwined.
Already told the dad and the son because
But that all happens in one sequence.
Yes,
The others don't.
but then the father and son thing ended in that one sequence. Yes, but then the dad carried through.
And we don't know about him
Until-
yet.
yeah.
So yeah, we can stick with the girls. So they're out on the town. We think they're out to party and score, and in a way, they are out to party and score.
Yeah.
The Red Riding Hood girl ends up with this same sort of mysterious wolf type character, and just as he's about to make his second kill, we just hear this sort of scream. We cut back to the girls who are sort of around a campfire. I guess they're on the edge of town, and they're not really. And all of a sudden, the Red Riding Hood sort of body flops. They pull the hood back, and it's Principal Wilkins, who's like been, I don't know if he's been broken. I don't know.
Maimed.
He's been heavily maimed. And at that time, we find out that these sorority girls.
werewolves.
Well, at first I'm like, they're a cult. My first thought
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is some
Yeah.
When
crazy
they're all
ass cult,
dancing.
and what are they gonna do? And then when their skin all started peeling off and they were turning into wolves, that was pretty cool. And I
Yeah.
thought the effects were okay.
Right, and I love when they were shedding their skin because it was almost like, again, with the provocativeness, it seemed very sexy
Oh,
how they were
very.
taking off their skin, like they were taking off their clothes, but then
Yeah.
instead of being nude, they were just werewolves.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. I
Yeah.
agree. That and the music and everything, the way it was
Mm-hmm.
shot, and just the whole, and it was very sexual,
Mm-hmm.
and which kind of, I don't want to say made it less scary. I just think it made it way more bizarre and more like I was going, I don't know how am I feeling about this right now because this is pretty sexy actually.
I think it keeps it from being just a generic like, like the victim is actually the villain kind
Right.
of thing. Like
Yeah.
it adds
It's
an
the
extra.
twist.
It adds an extra element to the layer that makes it something that's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because it's like
For sure.
Because it's like you think the whole time, oh, like he's like she's like the.
I agree.
No, I'm so sorry.
Well,
I
you
got
think-
distracted.
you
I was thinking
think
of
she's like the-
the victim. Like it's like
Well,
but it's like it's
I
just
mean,
the other way around.
I was thinking, oh, we're going with the tropes. She's the virgin. She's
Yeah.
going to survive at the end. I don't know what's going on in the
Yeah.
movie yet, so I'm just going along with what I'm told. These are how these movies play.
Right, and then if you watch it the second time or third, that scene when they were trying out the outfits, like the fitting room, it had a completely different meaning because
can
they were
s-
talking about her virginity, but they weren't talking about sex. They were talking about her finding her first kill or something.
Yeah,
Right.
and you can see like when they're changing, you can see like the werewolf hair. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
And now, am I mistaken? I thought at the end of near the end of the movie, they do a drive-by, right? Down the road in the little neighborhood where the first kill happens.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
And they're all back as
Yeah.
the sorority girls
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was them, and I thought, oh, so that's that story. Basically, that's that story.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the kids story, which I agree is probably the most
Depressing.
Sad. Yeah.
sad.
Most
It's
messed
I
up.
loved that girl.
Yes.
The braces. I thought she was great. I thought all those kids were cast really well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just thought the design of it, like especially at the bus when it's like sinking.
Well, we got
I
describe
know.
it.
No,
Yeah, let's go through the story. I've
Travis,
talked
you
through all the
go.
stories. You tell this story.
Okay, so the whole thing is where they're what is it like? There's the shy girl, and then she's like with the older kids and stuff, and they're like, oh, there's like I guess
she's like
this-
the nerdy girl.
she's the
They're
nerd.
setting her up.
Yeah, they're setting her up, and basically it's where they're like, oh, you want to like hang out with us, or you want to be cool. You have to come, and there's like this local legend campfire story where there was like
Bring pumpkins.
Yeah, and there's like a school bus where it like went over a bridge or it crashed, and all the students in there died because I guess you found out that like some of the students, well, they had the seatbelts on, right?
They were special.
They were special needs. Yeah, they were special needs. So they had like the seatbelts on, so they couldn't get out, and like all the kids drowned, and they're like,
Okay, but also, it's because the parents were tired of taking care of them.
Right,
So they
right.
paid the bus driver.
oh right,
Yeah, it had a really dark side
I was
to
getting
it.
there. I was getting there.
No,
This
you
wasn't.
weren't.
This wasn't an accident.
No.
Yeah,
Well planned.
I was getting there because it comes back.
We were talking about the school bus drowning.
Yeah, because
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, like I said, it was paid.
He's eating chocolate, folks.
So, and the whole like, and, you know, it's like I feel like in every, I don't know, as like a kid, even like in elementary school, you had Bloody Mary,
Yeah.
and you had everything. You always had like these like campfire stories, like local legend, and I guess theirs was that whole story.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh yeah, if you go there and you bring a pumpkin, you can like hear the
Resurrect-
kids, you can resurrect them. So they bring her down, and it's very spooky, where it's like already overly foggy, and they're like, oh, just go down like this like lift with like the staircase, and it's like it almost feels like the cage in like Temple of Doom.
And also, it's not a good feeling when you know that the shy girl is being set up. Because you don't know
Yeah,
what
you-
ultimately they're
yeah.
going to do to her.
Yeah, you know they're gonna set her up for a scare, and
Right.
they're gonna leave her down there, so you already kind of like feel
Wary,
bad.
yeah.
You feel bad for her, and then they take her down there, and then what? So they go
The
down there.
spirits popped up.
Yeah, the spirits pop up, but then you find out some of the kids just dressed up, right? And then they're like, "Oh no, we were just kidding. Ah, you're a loser." Not those words exactly.
Wow, that's rude.
You have no friends. But then there's a twist.
And what is that
You
twist?
find out
Sam.
she. Oh,
Oh, me?
I don't know. It's fun. I'm having a good time.
Go on.
I'm not Sam.
He's got a mouthful of chocolate. It's your turn,
Ugh.
Sam. That is chocolate, isn't it?
Ugh.
This isn't Caddyshack.
So
Those aren't pillows.
turn out real spirits show up. So all the kids were running out. The shy girl gets into the Temple of Doom elevator first, and she was like, "Screw y'all,
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving."
She leaves him down there.
And then she heads back up, and I forgot.
Yeah, she just like gets away.
There you go. Yeah, and that was the end of that.
But I think the best thing, it's like, I know when we're telling the story, you're thinking, oh, what's so scary about that? I think, like I said, I think as aesthetically and visually, I think it's so well shot. It's so
The
well
fog,
done.
it's like
with the fog, it's very
main character.
Yeah, it's very fitting. It's not like it doesn't feel forced at any time. Like it's the character of the story. It's very creepy.
But also when you watch the bus driver lock in all those kids
Oh,
that
yeah.
were wearing the Halloween masks, that in itself sad,
It's for
But
3
also-
days till Halloween. Oh.
creepy. And then when the kid, yeah, and then when
I thought the mask made it really even creepier.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, because the
couldn't see
kids are just sitting.
faces.
Well,
Right,
because
and
in
then-
it. Oh.
sorry, go ahead.
It's like the very, like, you know, when you see like photos of like, oh, Halloween during the
Old-timey,
50s, like
yeah.
old timey Halloween, where it's all
It's
like
that.
homemade looking masks, and they actually look really scary.
Yeah. But then I forgot to mention when the bus driver is checking in all those seatbelts, one of the kids got away knowing that they were all going to die. So then he was trying to drive the bus, but ended up driving it off the cliff.
Yeah.
Not laughing because it's funny, but it's just fucking
Wow,
sad. Yeah.
you're laughing.
You were laughing first.
I was not. Did go back play if you're listening?
Oh, God.
Rewind
Okay,
the
anyway,
episode.
so then-
I think it's fucking hilarious. I'm just kidding. It was very, very sad.
Yeah. And that was that for that segment.
I thought it was really sad and really creepy and very moody. I really liked all that. Maybe it was a tad let down by the very end, where she just kind of does the elevator and goes up, and we're just sort of left with, I don't know, I need maybe one more moment or
You
something.
do get one more
A
moment.
little bit more closure.
You do get
What
more.
did I get?
The ending.
At the very end.
The very end with the bus driver.
With the bus driver.
Okay, is there an echo?
I'm sorry.
Okay, is there an echo?
Oh, Sam, is there an echo?
I think what he means is a closure for
I
the
know.
kids.
Yeah.
Part
That's all I
of
mean,
it.
Yeah.
No, the bus driver, that was a great twist at the end.
Wait, the closure for the first set of kids or the second set?
The first set.
Well, they did get their
No,
closure.
the second set of
The
kids.
second
the
one,
ones
the
that
one
are-
that she just leaves there.
Gotcha. Well, they deserved it.
Yeah, I guess I was looking for a little more
Oh, I see.
something.
Gotcha.
Make
Little
me
extra
go, ew.
But I
Like drag them
not-
into the water or something. Or
Got it.
but
Got it.
I
Got it.
think
Okay.
it's because that's supposed to be the whole climax on its own. It's like, oh shit, like it's actually real. Like I think that's supposed to be so that's kind of where.
Hey, don't question how I felt at the moment, okay? That's what I felt.
Why don't you mind your
I
own
wanted
fucking
more.
business and don't ever fucking interrupt me?
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. Sorry,
Well,
folks
there-
at home.
there
I
goes
don't
our
know-
PG-13
I
rating.
I don't normally talk like this. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yes, he does.
Don't you ever?
You have a nasty tongue. Okay, so then we roll into
The
the
bus
next
driver.
story. Well, we don't know he's the bus
you
driver.
roll in.
Whoops.
No, the bus rolls over the cliff.
We go to the old man next door.
Yes.
Old man next door, and this was I thought was very
Sorry.
that Pulp
Old
Fiction
Man
thing where
River.
we start the same part of the story and we see the
Yeah.
same scene from his perspective.
loved.
Very Pulp Fiction.
I was just thinking, I was like, when we're talking about the movie now, I'm like, wow, this movie really is 87 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
'cause we're
this is
done.
a quick movie.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even realize. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fast.
And you know what? It doesn't feel like it's too like they're rushing
No,
it.
exactly.
It feels
That's what I'm saying. It
nice
feels
movie.
so-
But it's packed, man.
Yeah.
That movie
You
is
know what?
packed.
If they can write that in 87 pages, we can write our stuff in 87
We
pages.
sure can.
86. The
86.
challenge.
We
You know
can.
what?
You're
80.
right.
You know what?
And it was fun.
17.
What just happened?
I said 70. He said 17. But
Oh, okay.
I think
1770.
we can make it work. 17 minutes. I
Yeah.
think it's doable.
We wanted a feature, but now it's a short.
A packed charged 17. So we're at the old man next door and his dog. Mm-hmm. And we get his perspective of Principal Wilkins burying the kid in the front yard. I don't know if we mentioned that or not. But, yeah, so then his story unfolds inside the house. Weird stuff starts happening.
And this is where my
starting to
DVD
freak
was
out.
scratched. So no, it was because it would be like, and I'm like, is this part of the movie for a second? Because they do weird flashes.
It's like
and
funny games.
The scratch
Yeah.
on the DVD said
you
trick
really
or
got
treat.
let down, man. You were like, what?
Yeah, it sucked.
You're like, wow, this was only 57 minutes.
I know. I'm like, oh, they kind of like have some bad editing.
Okay, anyway.
Anywho, Brian Cox is great.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, that story felt the most complete to me.
Not when
Yeah.
I watched it.
I really,
We get it. You got a bad DVD.
I really liked that whole sequence a lot. I thought it was very fulfilling in terms of storytelling, in terms of its arc,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of its conclusion, which also kind of got us to the conclusion of the movie. And
It was great because for a while you're not sure why this old man's getting picked on by this demon child.
Yeah.
right.
And you're kind of rooting for him
He's
to
just trying to
survive.
live his life. It's like, he's
Yeah.
already a lonely old man.
Right, he's a recluse.
What did he ever do?
Yeah, he's living with his dog. He's mad at his neighbor.
First, they're tying up kids, and the parents don't want to deal with him. Now they're torturing this old man.
right,
A
right.
kid then starts barfing.
It's just a terrible night for him
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah.
Fucking kids.
When he unloaded his shotgun on that little pumpkin head, and he kept going towards it. Right before he reloaded his shotgun, I said out loud, "You better reload that shotgun, old man. I know how these movies go."
Go get him, Tiger.
But also, I think the fact that of all the stories, his also had, I don't want to say a happy ending, but it had a kind of it fulfilled itself. Like he
Yeah.
understood. He wasn't
Accepted.
just killed by it. You know, he actually understood the
What was
value of Halloween. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
he survived it. And he was, the bus driver.
And who was at the door?
Help me.
The kids.
The kids. The kids came
kids on the
back.
bus.
The kids on the bus.
Once
the
you think
kids-
the
right.
story's over, yeah.
The kids on the bus.
The wheels on the bus.
They went round and round a lot.
So that was cool. And he gave him the candy, or whatever it was. That was cool. So was the last time we saw the
Sam.
little braces girl just when she's going up the elevator? There's no second sighting of her.
No, that's it for her,
No.
yeah.
That's it. Okay.
She did her part.
So then from there, we see Sam, or the little pumpkin head, cross at the sidewalk. He's looking at him. And then I think it's over the shoulder. We see the couple walking.
Yeah. I
And we're
love
back,
that.
We're back at the beginning of the
and
story.
he only stopped because the girl,
She extinguished the pumpkins.
yes, when
Before
the
you're
husband
supposed
was
to.
like, the night's not over, don't do that, and she did, and then Sam's like, bitch, I got you.
Yeah.
What?
That seemed a little extreme for blowing out candles. But hey,
Saying extreme though.
It's Halloween lore, so.
live with it.
What did we think when Sam's mask comes off and you see his face?
He's cuter.
You like him without his mask?
No, I like him with his mask on.
Yeah, I was like, when you see the face, I was like, eh.
But
I
it
don't
makes
remember
sense.
I don't remember the face. What did it look like?
Fucked up.
It's like, it's like,
Was it all messed up?
Yeah.
it's like a
was.
monster.
Anybody got a picture they can
It's
show
like
me?
a monster face.
It's like The Mask, but not the movie you're thinking about.
It's weird that I
oh, it's the one with Rocky.
don't. No, the one with Cher.
That's what I just. Yeah, his name was Rocky.
I literally thought you were talking about Rocky. I don't remember that. When do we see it? Does the old man pull it off?
Yeah, when I think with the around the time with the fireplace.
Oh yes, I remember.
I don't.
It's
Yeah.
more cool than it is like, at least to me.
But like, look at how cute he is with the little.
I know.
I think with the mask is better. Please put the mask back on.
Oh, put the bag back on.
What I love about this movie, and what I loved about Krampus too, is their use of like practical
There's only
effects.
one.
What?
You said Krampus 2.
I will shove this up your butt.
Oh,
Wait, is there a Krampus too?
I meant
No.
Krampus as well. Travis is being dumb.
A Krampus TOO?
You know what? Y'all figure it out.
Okay, so what are your thoughts,
No.
Sam?
Thoughts
What
on
do
what?
you love? So you think you love that everything's done practically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I agree.
No, and that's why I was very excited because of I think it was I was very excited after I'm gonna jump movies a little bit, but after like you said the practical work in it and like the creatures and the monsters, that's why I was actually super excited when like the director I found out he was doing a Godzilla movie.
Oh,
Because
it
I was like,
God-
oh,
versus monsters, right?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I was like, that's gonna be cool. I'm like, we're gonna get a lot of cool.
Was it?
No, it was a CGI. No.
It was. Like
Is
I
that
said,
the one before Kong?
Yes.
King
Yes.
Kong?
Yeah.
That movie was.
It's it's where the weakest parts of the movie are like the human characters, and you're kind of.
Wait, did he write it or just direct it?
Did he have anything to do with the third one? With one versus
No, that was
the other?
Adam Wingard.
And what about Kong Skull Island?
No, that was someone else.
See, yeah, that
Well,
that
because-
to me is the best of the three.
And Kong Skull
Which
Island
one?
actually.
Skull Island.
Oh, yeah, that one's great.
And that one actually was not even originally supposed to be attached to like the MonsterVerse.
Wasn't that Peter Jackson?
No,
Oh.
that was.
No, that's some good stuff in that movie. That movie is really long.
I've never seen it.
It's
Really?
really long.
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
And then it goes to a whole Jurassic Park sequence that goes on forever in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then the whole stampede, or like the
I
elephants.
thought you didn't see it.
I've seen like clips. Well, it
Oh.
shows it when you go to King Kong 360 3D. But let's go back to Trick or Treat.
Let's go back to Trick or Treat. So, wow, I think we can do final thoughts.
Wow.
All right,
Which
Dan.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
All right,
Do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Please. Oh.
I don't
I'm
mind
just kidding.
starting.
I'll start
You
after
guys
Dan's
both
done.
start at the same time.
don't
One
and
word
go.
each.
Finish your thought.
You have one word.
No,
No,
I say a
finish each
word,
other's
then you say a
sentences,
word.
yeah.
then you
Okay.
say-
Overall,
I,
thought
that,
enough
of,
twists,
and,
keep
talking.
engaged. Not too bad. Overall, I thought it was very entertaining. I thought there were enough story twists that kept me totally engaged. I liked the macabre humor. I thought the special effects, although they weren't great, they were practical, and I thought they suited the spirit of the story really well. I thought the principal Warren Wilkins scene really set up the tone of the movie. I really do. For just the whole kind of odd and weird dark humor around it, ending with he and his son carving the little kid's head. I just thought that's okay. I totally know what kind of movie I'm watching. I really appreciate how quickly a movie like this just says, hey, you're just going to have a great time. This is going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a little scary, but it's going to be fun. And it was. I had a really good time. I would say 3 out of 5. See, 3.5 out of 5 blood vomiting candy bars.
Yeah, you took my thing. I'm going to still keep it because I have it worded differently.
You took my thing.
You
go.
took my thing.
Now give it back.
So everything you said, plus why I love this movie so much is the way they set up the storytelling and how you thought it was linear, like we had discussed. But even then, after everything was revealed, it just kind of like, it's all over the place, but it still made sense, and I love that. And again, like you said, the it's scary, but it also has that dark humor, which goes hand in hand. So I rewatch it every year. So I'm gonna give it 4 puddles of chocolate pukes out of 5.
I think totally this can be an annual kind of a Halloween kind of movie because it's just fun. It gives you that spirit.
Well, Dan, for me, it is an annual Halloween movie.
Oh, that's so cool.
I enjoy it a lot. But I really like how this film just kind of came out of nowhere. No one knew what it was. Now, anytime you walk into a Spirit Halloween, I feel
Everywhere.
like half the store is trick or treat now. I really, it's not like the most mainstream horror movie ever, but it's well known enough. Like I said, you go around, you go to cons, sometimes you see people wearing shirts about it, with the characters. There's all these decorations, and I feel like the movie just works so well that, like, even out of context, like, if someone gets, like, the lawn decorations and you have it looks cool. You're like, oh, I don't really know what this is, but you just assume it's, like, a decoration.
Let me just interject. It's way better than the Halloween movie we watched last year.
What did we watch last year?
Halloween ends.
That ended that, yeah. No, it's and like I said, it's a very it's just a very enjoyable movie. It's definitely one, if you're at like a Halloween party or something, you can just have on in the background. Everyone can enjoy it. I think for what the movie's trying to do, I think it accomplishes it very well. 100%. I think in the opening scene, with the kid barfing, that's great, which leads into all the little stories. They each have their own dark kind of twist. It does feel a little creep show, but it's a lot of fun. Hopefully they've been trying to do a part 2 for years. Every couple of years, it's like, I'm definitely doing it. Here we go.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
No, like I said, we don't need it. It's a fun movie. I think, I really enjoy his next one, Krampus. I already said earlier, I want to see more holiday horror movies. Mm-hmm. Maybe do an Easter movie. Maybe do a Leif Erikson Day movie. I don't know.
I think you were supposed to laugh there.
Dan, I'm going to take your microphone away. What you're supposed to do is respectfully listen to me talk.
St. Patrick's Day this year.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Loony leprechauns.
They're always after
Two brothers.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Anyway,
Not so
what's your
Lucky
score?
Charms.
My score is... Oh, it's funny. I'm just kidding. It was... Because, Sam, you said, Dan, you took my thing.
Did we all do pukes?
No, you took my score. Because I was going to say, can you guess my item? I've said it like 30 times already.
Fudge.
4 out of 5. I really liked this movie.
No.
Damn, what did you say? Honestly, I wasn't listening.
4 out of 5 scratch DVDs.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
so
a good
cool.
one for you.
I'm kind of see for all you new listeners, or if it's been a while since you've listened to the thing.
hasn't.
No, I'm gonna say I'm kind of like the funny guy in the podcast.
You mean you're the make funny guy?
Make fun of.
The make fun of guy.
To
in
make
the
funny
podcast.
of.
No, I'm kind of like the jokester. You know, it's like, what's he
You're
gonna
the
say
butt
next?
of the joke. Sorry.
I am a joke.
I like how you pointed your fingers to the sky. You said, "What's he gonna say next?"
See, you think it's funny. You're like, oh my god, like I love this guy. Yes, you can go on our shop. You can buy my merch. You know, all my sayings on T-shirts, on hats.
Not only is he funny, but he's delusional.
That's the funniest people. Look, have you seen Jim Carrey in Living Color?
No.
Okay.
Frank,
Frank,
what did you
please.
think?
I liked it.
Okay,
Anyways,
good.
tune
you
in
for
next
joining
week.
us.
Frank's the quiet guy in the podcast.
I agree with a lot of what you guys said. I think it's fun. I think it's very much entrenched in that Halloween spirit. There's a lot of shots that I think are really, really cool. I can't really pick out too many that, like, you know, I can say, oh, this shot is great. It's just a lot of really good
Sequence?
yeah, good sequences, good composition. The music didn't really stand out to me.
I
which
don't
is one
even
thing that
remember
I
it.
wish
Yeah.
would like. I wish it had stronger music, but all the stories I think are great. It's not overstuffed with them, but each one isn't. They're not like the same, you know. And I like the way that they all weave together. It's like a soup, you know, like
Yeah.
alphabet soup. Each story just kind of drifts into another story every once in a while, but
Never
you know,
What kind of
thought
soup
it that
are you?
way.
What kind of soup are you eating?
I don't even have a joke for that right now.
Again, I'm the funny guy in the.
All that said, I think it's near perfect in terms of scoring for what I wanted out of it. But there's just a couple of things, like there's a few bits of dialogue that I'm like, okay. You know, some of the acting from the kids is like, okay.
They're just kids, man.
Fuck them kids. And then
That's what the bus driver said.
All right, you're funny.
And then the music. But with all that said, again, I'm gonna have to give it 4
Out of 4.2.
4 sexy werewolf bacchanalias out of 5.
That was Dan's
Nice.
item.
Mine was barfing
I
candy
know,
bars.
just kidding.
Wait, Dan, you gave it a 3, right?
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Average score
3.5.
3.8.
It
Yeah.
was a 3.5.
Was it a 3.5?
Yeah, just so you know, it was 3.5.
It was a 3.5. 3.5. That's good for me.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah?
Dan's a tough critic.
He is. You're right.
For those who are listening and brand new, Dan's the tough critic of the group.
What's up with all your
funny.
recaps today, man?
It's been a month. We gotta
I know.
remind
He's got a lot.
everyone.
He's got a lot built up
We
that he
have
has
to
to like.
remind. We have to remind everyone. You know.
Every Tuesday, Wednesday for the past month, he's just been sitting in his den.
Tuesday,
just,
Wednesday. We only did you. You all
Sometimes-
meet another day of the week. You don't tell me.
Yeah, we re-edit.
Damn it, Sam.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
what are we watching next week?
Next
Frank?
week, we're watching another classic slasher. That's Kevin Williamson adjacent.
Right after Scream.
Chopping
It's-
Mall 2.
No,
Yes.
Scream 2. After Scream
How
2.
is it Kevin Williams? Did he write it?
Yes.
No,
No.
Directed?
but it was born out of that whole like Scream
Inspired.
reinvigoration of the slasher genre in the late
Williamson
90s.
inspired.
Yeah, it aimed to be a Scream, and it ended up being something else,
But still a classic.
but still a classic. Urban legend.
I was going to say, does it have a title? Urban Legend. That in 1998.
98.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Urban Legend.
There's someone in the backseat.
All right.
You know what I'm
As
talking
you
about.
go on. I'll remember.
Okay, I hope I can make it through.
You will.
How long is it?
Like an hour 40, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's not very long. Let me look it up actually. Urban Legend 1990. Ew, I
3 hours and 11 minutes.
an hour 40, and I had
I said-
forgotten that Jared Leto was in it.
Yes, he is.
Oh, was he?
He's
I
a
don't
big
remember
part
that.
in it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's some familiar faces in there.
This is after Requiem or before Requiem?
Before, yeah.
Because Requiem was like, what,
Like
2000?
2000.
Dan,
2001,
this is how
I think.
you'll have no idea what this franchise is about. Part 1, just called Urban Legend. Part 2, Urban Legend Final Cut.
No, Urban Legends.
Urban
Final
Legends
Cut.
Final Cut. Part 3, Urban Legends Bloody Mary. And then there's a fourth one? No?
Aren't they making a new
I
one?
don't think so. I think they were they were probably
trying
aiming
to-
for like another requel situation, like
or
with-
just another repurposed script.
But they did. Oh no, wait. I'm confusing it with I Know What You Did Last Summer because they did a TV show for that. I was thinking maybe they
I didn't watch that.
nobody
Speaking
did.
of
And it was terrible.
Speaking of not watching, remember to listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
And after you listen to it, share it with your friends.
Neighbors, enemies.
Write us a good review. Post us on your social media. Spread the good word. Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast, is here to stay.
Forever.
And ever.
And ever.
Let's make this last forever.
And ever.
Bye.
Okay.
And we are, I guess we're out.
Bye.
Yeah, I was trying to do the theme song.
Hey, get that judging face.
Out of my mouth.
And...